Nightmare Alley, out in theaters, directed by Guillermo del Toro, based on a book by William Lindsay Gresham. Stars Bradley Cooper, in a role that was originally going to go for Leonardo DiCaprio, plus Cate Blanchett, Toni Collette, Willem Dafoe, Richard Jenkins, Rooney Mara, and Ron Perlman. Like previous Del Toro works, such as Pan's Labyrinth, Hellboy, Shape of Water, this film also has a very particular style, a particular texture of image. It also dresses in period clothes, and it is also fascinated by the nature of monsters, or as Del Toro likes to present it, the idea that humans are actually monsters and monsters are actually humans. This time around focusing much more on the humans are monsters part, with no supernatural elements nor fantastical creatures. The story starts in the late 1930s and follows Stanton Carlyle, played by Cooper, who we meet as a young man leaving his burning house behind and hopping on a bus to take him God knows where. He ends up on the final stop looking for a place to stay, and on a whim joins a carnival. Initially just as a physical helper, then helping out more and more with the acts themselves, and finally beginning to learn actual tricks of mind reading and psychic abilities, which is of course nothing more than a scam. And we see him embark on this journey which has success in it, but it will eventually lead to downfall as well, as Stan is consumed by greed and pride and hubris, always wanting more, always preying on the naive, always looking for the next high, coming from correctly reading people and fooling them. So I like the film quite a lot. Like I said, it has a texture to it which you can almost touch, the rain and snow, the fabrics on the clothes, the wood of the carnival contraptions, all of those objects in the world of the film. It all looks somehow very real, and it makes you imagine yourself touching and feeling all of those objects on your skin. And I'm not sure how Del Toro achieves it, but it's not the first time for him, and he's really able to nail that aesthetic of a period piece that feels more real than it should somehow, but some aspects of it are, they feel fantastical at the same time. So yet again, seeing a film of his makes me think that he would be perfect for a BioShock adaptation, but that'll probably never happen. Anyway, I've seen some criticisms of Bradley Cooper's casting because of the age. He's 47 years old, okay? And while we never learn how old exactly Stan is supposed to be, based on the story, the way the people treat him as such, I would say he's supposed to be somewhere in his 20s. So Cooper is slightly too old for the role, yes, but I'd argue in the makeup, he looks convincingly like in his 30s, and aging up the character to that range doesn't really change the story, so I was able to sort of accept that. His performance, though, is very good. I think he really nails playing this guy who is, on the surface, earnest and genuine, but actually hides a secret and hides his true nature. In a way, watching this film, it made me feel like watching Breaking Bad. It's like initially you are fooled by the fact that this guy is the protagonist, so you side with him, and then he begins making mistakes and he does questionable things, and first you think, no, don't do that. Then you wonder why he is continuing down that path, why he's getting worse and worse, and when he truly becomes the villain of the story, you realize that wasn't really a transformation as much as a reveal of his true nature that was there all along. He was always proud and greedy and vengeful, but he wasn't able to display that, and then he finally does, and it all clicks into place. I really like the supporting performances as well, particularly Willem Dafoe, who is deliciously despicable in his role, and Cate Blanchett also brings an air of a certain mystery and class and a type of fatal attractiveness. Also, I want to commend the production design, because in the first half the carnival looks and feels amazing, and then in the second one we move to a completely different set of locations. Classy hotels, lush interiors, and the ever-blowing snow outside. The contrast is very good at showing us at the exact point where Stan really transitioned and he became his true self, and he's not able to go back. It's like a completely different person in a completely different world. All in all, really solid film, I thought. Great atmosphere, fantastic world building, memorable characters, and a well-written story with an ending that is incredibly haunting.